Good morning. How you doing? My name is Elliot Fanning. Professor Lee, how you doing, sir? And everybody, this is my final presentation for course CNT 4940 internship. Throughout this presentation, I will be discussing what I've done throughout my time doing the actual hands-on internship and also what I've learned. Also, too, I'll be displaying pictures of actual components and hardware. First, to start off, I would like to let you know where I did my internship at. Where I conducted my internship was at the FSCJ downtown campus. Also, the supervisor that I was assigned to was Miss Claire Hart. And also, I had to do 50 hours to satisfy the requirements as per this course. The details of, in the sense of what I had to do, just to name a couple, I had to check the integrity of some of the components to ensure that they have full power functionality, the updated software such as Windows 10, applicable cores to perform the actual tasks that will be required within the courses from the professors, and also to ensure that the proper protocols are installed for testing and networking. Well, just to start off, first off, I had to reset approximately between 15 to 25 routers and switches to factory settings. With that, that include a clearing password and to ensure the proper integrity. What I mean by that is that you, in the sense that you have to take Cisco classes down there, and the professor teaches you how to put in passwords within those hardware components, but then at the same time, you have to clear them out for the next student that comes behind you to actually be able to go in and perform the same task as if he was taught. So with that being said, you got to make sure that since it's a new semester coming up, and then also even if still if another class was coming behind you, you got to make sure that they're able to go in without any type of issues. So what I had to, what I was tasked with, I had to go in there, make sure all the passwords cleared out, was that there was passwords on, and also go back and make sure that it works. After I moved from the actual routers and switches, I had to perform, I had to go to the actual PCs. I had to make sure they was fully operational as well. So for the hardware and software class, they will be used by the students and staff. I had to make sure that they come on and basically that they was fully operational. So with that, I had to, of course, perform power checks. Make sure, of course, that they comes on, that everything turns on lights, etc. So if it did not come on, it was that someone was missing power supplies, etc. I had to install the power supplies. Some of them did not have the applicable cords as per the previous slide, so I had to install the SATA data cables. With that, even had to install some hard drives as well. So when all that everything was actually installed or whatnot, I secured the wiring to prevent the mishaps and or destruction of the actual wiring. Me myself, I worked on airplanes for the almost last 20 years or whatnot, which I dealt with electronics. So you always want to make sure that your wiring is out the way for moving parts such as fans. Basically, as we know that the wiring is what supplies the actual power and or the signals to other components to work. So basically what I did upon myself to actually remove them, to get them out the way so basically it'd be routed correctly. Right here, this is the slide that which you guys will probably know, but I just want to let you know this is what I worked on. Here's your PC towers right here. Here's all your switches, and here's your routers. So basically, I had to go in there and make sure that everything was functional. Being a student at FSCJ, that taught me a lot, and I'm highly appreciative. So here's the components that I worked on. With here are the internal components that I had to install inside of those equipment, such as right, you have your hard drives, here's your set of data cables, and here's your memory sticks, and lastly your power supplies. So all these components play a major role within those components, etc. So you have to go in there, like I say, it won't load, you won't have no software, you gotta have a hard drive. You won't be able to see anything. No data will not be transferred unless you have cables. And also you have your memory sticks. You gotta have two memory sticks installed for the actual boot process to happen. And then you can't see none if you don't have power. So you gotta have a power supply. You can't turn on nothing if you don't have no power supply. Lastly, what I've learned. Basically, as myself, again, me being a Navy veteran and also worked on airplanes for a long amount of time, I feel that hands-on training is very essential. Sometimes just learning out of a book does not necessarily get you, you don't know what to actually do. So as per myself, as per my opinion, I like to do hands-on training. Hands-on training, I say that, hey, you read it, now you get to see it. You get to put your hands on it, you actually see how it works. Because there are different scenarios and also different ways things work. So as you're reading the book again, could be different than what you see. So at the same time with repetition, you get the flow of it. You get to know actually what you're doing. Throughout that time, I had a mentor. I feel that mentorship is very necessary. Throughout this course, there's been a couple of topics talking about mentorship. So you will possibly, what I feel, or not possibly, that you need somebody that's within that field to give you the ins and outs, to guide you, to not mislead you. You don't want to go in anything or anywhere blind. You would like somebody to guide you, say, hey, you need to go this route. This is how you progress. This is how you learn. You don't want to go somewhere where you're having a bad name on yourself or whatnot. And also, you just want to just possibly succeed and also climb the ladder as high as you can. Excuse me. With that being said, ambitious. I'm a very ambitious guy. I have number of ambitions and integrity. So I feel ambition is the key. So you gotta want to be better. You gotta want to do more. Just don't worry about an actual handout, whatnot. Just to give you a small uh, story about it. Throughout this time, I have a full-time job. So what I did, I woke up early in the morning, went straight down to the campus, did what I had to do. After that, went straight to work, worked 9 hours, went right back and did the same thing for 3 weeks straight. So with that being said, you gotta have the ambition, you gotta have the will, you gotta have the want. You have to go out there, leave the excuses behind you because it's not gonna help you advance here in the near future. Also, with that being said, I manufactured some straight through cables for the actual course, and also I created a PC checklist. So with all that being said, and also worked a full-time job that requires me to work 45 hours a week, I still was able to get it done. So just to let you know, I'm highly appreciative to you, Professor Lee, and mostly Miss Claire Hart. Everybody at the FSCJ staff, thank you for everything, and I learned a lot. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.